Hello and welcome to English in Brazil. Primeiro vídeo que eu tô gravando agora em 2021, começando o ano de gravações super animada e com muito conteúdo diferente aqui pra você. A gente tá começando esse ano com um vídeo mais cultural. A gente vai falar in English, so it's gonna be good for you to practice your listening skills about things Brazilians think about Americans. Então, coisas que os brasileiros pensam a respeito dos americanos, dos norte-americanos ou estadunidenses, como eu preferir. Eu pedi pra vocês lá no meu Instagram falarem coisas que vocês pensam sobre os Estados Unidos e que vocês gostariam de checar. Será que é verdade? E aí eu traduzi todas essas mensagens para o inglês e perguntei para 2 professores dos Estados Unidos se eles concordavam ou não. Esses professores são do Cambly, que está patrocinando aqui esse vídeo. O Cambly é uma plataforma na qual você faz aulas de conversação com falantes nativos de inglês de diferentes lugares do mundo. Você pode escolher o sotaque do professor com o qual você quer praticar. Você pode escolher se ele é um professor com certificado ou se é um tutor para você bater um papo. Todas as aulas ficam gravadas para você assistir depois e observar como você se saiu. É muito legal que você comece a observar o seu próprio inglês. Você identifica ali possíveis erros e corrige. Se você não conhece o Cambly e quer fazer uma aula de graça, é só usar esse meu código aqui. E se você já conhece o Cambly, esse código aqui também te dá um desconto super especial. Então, não deixe de conferir os links aqui na descrição. Aproveita a sua aula gratuita. Então, vamos lá, porque é hora de praticar o listening. E se você preferir, tem legendas disponíveis no vídeo.
There are no slums in the USA.
That is not true at all.
Of course, there's no slums in the USA. All of our streets are paved with gold and everybody is rich, and we all drive Bentleys and Rolls Royces.
In fact, most cities, except for the very, very small towns, I have traveled around the United States in many different states, many different cities, but every town and every city has a part that is not as good of an area as other places to be.
No. So if you talk to someone from California, we have Skid Row, which is a huge collection of what my friend calls urban campers. But having traveled to different countries, I used to live in South Africa. I'm familiar with the favelas in Brazil. We don't have encampments like that, but we do have our fair share of urban campers.
Everyone has an iPhone.
Okay, well, a lot of people will have a smartphone. However, some have an Android and some have iPhones. So it's a mix everywhere. And for me, I have an iPhone, so I have no idea how to use an Android. So if somebody comes to me and says, "Oh, can you show me how to do this?" I don't know. I only know how to use the iPhone.
Everyone I know has an iPhone. I am the only person I personally know that does not carry an iPhone. But iPhones are very popular. But of course, with most broad sweeping generalizations, this one is yet again not true.
Americans think everyone in the world can speak English.
I believe we wish that. For me, I am a traveler. So I have traveled to many parts of the world, and I am very appreciative if somebody knows English. However, I like to know some of the language of the country I'm going to so that I'm at least trying. But I don't have expectations. And I know a lot of Americans who do. So they do think everyone should know English. And it's a big controversy.
I think that Americans wish everyone in the world spoke English so they wouldn't have to learn every single language to every single country they would like to visit in their lifetime. So they hope and pray that when they travel, they can speak English very slowly so people can understand them and make their lives easier.
Everything is clean and organized in the USA.
Not at all. There are some towns that take pride and really keep things clean, but not everywhere. You will run into different places where it doesn't have as much attention, especially like public transportations, but they do work on it as much as they can, but it depends on the taxes in the city.
Again, I think everything is subjective. So I've been to Tokyo, and the public bathrooms in Tokyo are cleaner than most humans' bathrooms that I know personally. In my hometown, they closed the subway bathrooms because people would be living in there and doing all type of things in the bathrooms. And I've seen rats in the New York subways. Yes, again, everything is, there's a spectrum to everything. You know, I've seen, in other countries, I've seen just disgusting places. Do we have really disgusting places? Not so much, but everything is not clean and organized. No.
Americans are patriots.
Well, yeah, there is a huge sense of belonging and love for our country. And that is very true in a lot of ways. And it's kind of divided right now, where some people have different opinions and it's conflicting. So it's a very sensitive topic right now in the United States. But for me, yes, I'm a patriot, but it may not be the same meaning as others have to it. Like, I love my country, but I also decide things for myself.
Being a patriot is definitely subjective. Recently, we had some people who stormed the Capitol who fashioned themselves as being patriots, while other people felt like they were being the opposite of patriots. So the answer is yes. Both groups of people think that they're patriots.
Americans eat junk food every day.
Oh my gosh, guilty pleasure. Very much so. I don't know if we eat it every day. Some do. Our culture is very rushed, very in a hurry. So we have this idea that we don't have the time to make food and that we have to do it right away. So yeah, sometimes it is convenient to stop at a fast food restaurant, and we're really big on takeout. We spend a lot of money on takeout.
I think junk food is prevalent in America. Yes. Every day is a stretch, but I'm sure some people do. Yes.
Americans don't respect nature.
I think this can be a global thing right now and not just American thing. I grew up in a small town, so nature is very important to me and I do respect it. And like anywhere in the world, yeah, sometimes you'll go for a hike and there will be trash, but there are also people that will pick up the trash and make sure everything is nice.
This is the only one that I would have to disagree with. I think big industry disrespects nature, not necessarily your rank and file Americans.
Every American owns a gun.
Well, I wouldn't say everyone. Again, this is something where our country is quite divided in. So, do a lot of Americans love their guns? Yeah, they love their guns. But not everybody has guns. And especially in the cities, not as many people have guns as in the country. If you're in a smaller town, you will see more people who own guns.
I think the number of gun-owning Americans is at or around 50% of the American population. And I think a large percentage of the 50% that owns weapons in America, they own more than one weapon. So I think the number is there are enough guns in America for every citizen, but every citizen doesn't own a gun, if that makes any sense.
Americans are not good at geography. They don't understand that America is a continent, not a country.
Oh, I wish I didn't agree with that. Yes, that is an argument. And I think it has a lot to do with, I'm American, not I'm from the United States of America, because yes, America is a continent. It is very true. And I have run into so many people who do not see that. So some of it can be true, yes.
America is not a continent. America is a country. North America is a continent that consists of 3 countries. South America is a continent that consists of multiple countries. But to answer your question, I will agree. I have a friend from Albania. If you put a map in front of me and told me to point to Albania, and if you would give me $1 million, I would be still poor. If I have another friend from, oh my goodness, I can't even think of the name of the country. I agree. A student asked me I said, where exactly, like I know Saudi Arabia is in the Middle East, I know it's considered Asia, but I could not name you the countries, more than 3 countries that surround Saudi Arabia. So I totally agree, only based on my personal ignorance of geography. I agree. Americans suck at geography.
Gente, eu adorei essa conversa, espero que vocês tenham gostado também. Várias coisas, é engraçado, né? A gente afirmar uma coisa sobre todo um povo, todo um país. É claro que muitas vezes são estereótipos, muitas vezes a verdade ela é relativa, né? Em algum canto é assim, em outro canto não é. Me conta aqui nos comentários o que mais te surpreendeu e se você tem alguma outra ideia que você gostaria de conferir, de checar em um outro vídeo, a gente pode fazer uma parte 2 desse vídeo, tá bom? Também me conta se você conseguiu escutar, entender sem as legendas, só pra gente saber aqui como é que tá o seu listening. A gente se vê no próximo vídeo, se inscreve no English in Brazil porque tem dica de inglês toda semana. Beijo!